involve themselves involve themselves in the community based learning, because the community, we need to motivate and mold our students more of community oriented, because they should know the responsibility, how they should be a responsible citizen of our country. We need to include and inculcate the values of community based learning, so that the students can some institution have an exclusive community oriented for 30 hours. Even our own best practices having making our students for 30 hours of community service. Thereby, we are just inculcating the values, the responsibility of the students, how they have to be serving the community. So that kind of motivation has to be provided by the HE. There should be some activities organized for the team-based learning, so that the student starts working on their skills development and they have to be very confident in their analytical skills and how the observation they are able to do it. That kind of inculcating the values of the student, how responsibility of the student for the social service, and also in the case of how that particular curriculum which we are defining, we are saying that encouragement, what is the method, how the institution can substitute that supplement this is by their curriculum delivery and pedagogy, skill development packages, giving an exposure visit like field visit, industrial visit, IV, any educational institution may arrange for it, any certification program apart from the regular curriculum, workshops, guest lectures, adjunct faculty lectures, some kind of video conferencing which we are providing to know the current trends and what is some kind of employability training, so as when they complete the program they are able to get the employability, and also the industrial institution interface program to know what is the need of the industry, how the students need to be molded according to their needs, and by arranging a seminar, conference, guest lecture, video lectures, some array organizing value addition classes apart from the regular curriculum, and also just by celebrating like the national, international days, know the importance of that days, encouraging the student to visit the many accredited university. All these parameters has to be considered for the implementation of this particular curriculum aspects in our HE. In addition, I just want to give a glimpse on new educational policy, because in the revised in NAAC framework, they have implemented before the going for criterion one, what the efforts the educational institution has taken. This is another important qualitative details required by the NAAC for applying for SSR. So this is the reason the questions where they put a thrust on these areas. I am just presenting a glimpse of it, that so that this is a new perspective of the NAAC in that particular SSR. They are now insisting on what is the multidisciplinary or interdisciplinary approach of any educational institution to make that as multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary. What is the vision of the institution they are working on for the institutional preparedness for the new education policy, and how the institutional approach towards the integration of science and humanities with STEM, that is science, technology, engineering, mathematical, based on that, how it has been relayed, how flexible and innovative our curriculum. They want to insist on, they want, NAAC wants us to answer these kind of questions, how the institution is prepared for the NEP. So apart from this criterion, before itself, they want to know the preparedness of any higher educational institution for the new educational policy, what the policy of any higher educational institution for the academic bank of credits, what are the initiatives they have taken for the academic bank of credit, what is the multiple entry, multiple exit, whether they have registered them under ABC academic bank of credit, what are the efforts the institution has undertaken for the collaboration and for the internalization of the education and the what the effort, what the best practice done by the particular institution, how they strengthen their vocational education, how they groom the students for the soft skills, and how the program are being provided, promoted for the vocational education, how we are able to integrate that with the mainstream education and also the human values, how we are imbibing the human values in the students by just providing the Satya, Dharma, Prem, Ahimsa, and for that, how that particular values have been imbibed by our students. We are for that, how the curriculum have been enriched apart from the regular core curriculum, how the value-based education is provided, and also the credit structure, how you ensure that all the students at least takes one vocational course because we have a core program. So we need to design the framework in such a way that it should be able to accommodate the value education, it should be able to accommodate one vocational program, some online program, some distance learning program. The framework has been designed that fulfill all these things, some kind of skill development with the NSDC certification. So once they complete that, they'll be able to get the employability or they can become an entrepreneur. And also how the integrating the Indian knowledge system, because what are the strategy adopted by the higher educational institution in integrating the Indian and the into the curriculum, whatever is, because Indian heritage and the culture, everything has to be maintained. Otherwise, our students will not be knowing it. So, what are the things? What are the efforts, strategies planned by the higher educational institution? Whether they are providing an offline course or online course, what they have decided, and how they plan that to train the faculty to provide the bilingual approach, English and as well as the vernacular language, and how they have able to design the syllabus based on outcome-based education, what the institution has trained them for that particular OBE, how the learning and teaching level and how the assessment has been done, what is the best practice they are providing to make the students to undertake distance education, online education. That is, they are promoting the NPTEL now Swayam. So many courses are available online. So apart from the regular curriculum, how the students are able to accommodate in addition to that regular curriculum. So we have to insist the higher educational institution has to take some best practices that they need to make of the students to enroll according to their own discipline as well as the interdisciplinary approach. So apart from the regular curriculum, they can register them in the online courses and they can complete, and also how we are making technological tools available for the students for the teaching learning activities, and also how we are organizing an FDP to make the faculty member to utilize the need-based technological tools, has to be trained, groomed by the faculty members also to be trained for it. And finally, let me conclude. We need to plan in a systematic way. This meticulous planning will make all our higher educational institutions to set up the standards which have been provided by the NAAC to fulfill the standards, and we can able to design and develop our own curriculum in an excellent way. Thank you for providing me an opportunity. Thank you.
The session is open for discussion. You can post your questions in the chat box, which will be answered by the expert. Ma'am, there is a question from Professor Sanjay.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you please explain what is meant by inculcating value system among students? What are the tools to achieve it?
What is the meaning inculcating value system? Sir, the value education nowadays, we talk about universal human values, how it has been, how we need to incorporate in our curriculum so that the students, we need to able to realize them. It's not only theoretical aspects which we need to give the students, we need to make them practically approachable for that particular curriculum. For example, a value-based education, just mere providing a theoretical aspect alone won't serve the student to be a good citizen. We need to involve them, we need to know the social responsibility, how they move in the group, everything we need to mold them. So that is the important aspect. Any educational institution, any faculty who is responsible, that can be achievable by designing a mentoring for each student, so that each student will be, we can design a mentor program where that particular mentor might be allocated with the 20 mentees. So each and every student behavioral aspect also can be monitored by us. We can groom the students according, and we can make their attitude more. It's not merely theoretically we are just providing. That is one way of curriculum where we need to ensure that the students are aware of it, because nowadays it is the values are degrading. In some, if we are able to make the students to know the responsibility, how they have to act for that particular this, we need to be give them more theory, yeah, apart from theoretical aspects, we make to know the responsibility of them. So we have to promote it in such a way that they are able to, we can monitor them, whatever the attitude. So once they come out of after studying, it's not only the theoretical part, how we make them practically undergo, every mentor will be able to know them and groom themselves.
Another question from Mr. Swadan. What is the major difference between MBA and NAAC?
Sir, for NAAC, it is for the all the science and arts colleges, and also for the health sciences, will be going for the NAAC accreditation. In the case of MBA business schools, they'll be going for the NBA accreditation. Even for if it is based on the board, that will be differing. But most of the parameters, even in the NAAC and NBA, are the same. But the accreditation body alone differs. For all the business schools, they have to MBA programs, they have to undergo NBA accreditations.
Another question from Savita. Do we need to have a special hour allotted for mentoring?
Yes, it's better to have the mentoring hour. Apart from the regular class hours, periodically they can be even maintained by the particular mentors. The institution policies can be done in such a way that the assigned mentees periodically meet the mentors. So it's not for the namesake that these are the mentees of this mentor. Just not mere maintaining that list is not sufficient. There should be a mechanism established in the institution to state that, for example, in a particular week, a day, or if it is not possible, at least twice in a month, they have to meet their mentors, and mentor will be able to groom the students, not only their for the curriculum alone, that is for the studies alone, for the educational alone, but apart from that, they will be able to groom the students. It will be really helpful for them to bloom out with the flying colors. It's not mere mentoring for curriculum, because the students will be able to share the difficulties, because nowadays the students have been more stressed. So they can come out of it once they share that. Their values can be imbibed, not only that. So it will be best practice of the institution to have the mentoring session.
Another question from Mr. Bishi. Value education class can be taken in working hours or after working hours?
Sir, actually for the new education policy, they want to integrate everything with the UHV and SDG goals. And even we are not directly implementing the universal human value, if you are not able to inculcate in that particular stipulated time, that can be provided out of the hours also, but it is based again on the institution policy. Otherwise, at least within a week plan, at least 1 hour or 2 hours can be allocated for it.
The question from Madhuravali. Is it any necessary to shuffle the staff and students from all departments regarding mentoring?
It's one way of practicing it, that shuffling the students one way, they say that if they are the particular department, they are not able to open up, they can talk with the other department. But according to my observation, I feel that if the students who have been assigned, for example, the best practices, if the students enrolled in a particular program, they will be also assigned with the class tutor. The class tutor, apart from the class tutor, we have a regular mentor also. If it is their own discipline, they can periodically, not only in the mentoring session, apart from that also, they are able to meet and they open up the issues. But in few institutions, they follow that across the disciplines. Some feel that if it is own discipline, it is very effective. If it is interdisciplinary, they are not able to meet that mentor properly at that time. But some institution follows that across the disciplines also, so that they are able to open up and they freely able to expose their difficulties. So we can practice what is working out in our institution, we can follow.
Another question from Ms. Banu. For affiliated colleges, how to prepare curriculum design projects?
And for the curriculum design and for the projects, the same data template only in the institution. Only one thing which is differing is your curriculum design and development. The first key indicator alone is not there for your affiliated colleges, because curriculum planning and implementation, only that two questions differs. That's why I highlighted that in your curriculum design and implementation, because you will be not have a flexibility. But the best way to design is some of the value-added courses can be provided by the affiliated colleges. That is more recommended even by the NAAC, that they are appreciating. Because the main time framework has been provided by the university. But some of the value-added courses, 30 hours of courses can be designed in your own institution. And that is much appreciated by the NAAC. So that adds point and values to you for your institution. The project, the same template for all the autonomous and affiliated colleges. You need to maintain the details of who is the project, who is the guide, which industry they have undergone the project, or if it is a student project, group project, what type of project they have undergone, and that everything has to be recorded. That data need to be captured then and there. Then it will be easy for us to submit when you are submitting SSR for 5 years.
I think we covered all questions, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Can we end the session, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
I thank
Thank you.
Dr. Balaji Lakshmi for the time and effort she took to share her knowledge with us. I also extend my special gratitude to her for presenting a very informative session and also briefing us about all the process and procedures based on this criteria. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
I appreciate all the participants for your interest, and I'd like to thank you for your time and attention today. Thank you all. Kindly submit the feedback form posted in the chat box. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, once again, I will remove you from a co-host, or else you will end the call.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. I request all the participants to submit the feedback form, which has been posted in the chat box.